days when we get ART, it make me feel happy. That's when we could go to the art rooms and create all kinds of drawings. When I am going to work with an artist, I get happy, excited because I want to paint already and I want to just learn.
I love working with ART because they take care of everything. They bring art to our children who would not be able to have it without the program. The artists are lively, creative, great people, and great role models for our children.
What I would like for you to do on a piece of paper is write the story behind your abstract drawing. Some of you had things that showed up in your abstract drawing, like a fish, or some of you had some imagination things that happened.
An organization like ART has provided a means of, for many schools that cannot afford to have an arts teacher or music teacher even, has fulfilled that need, and in partnership with the Art Institute has done it extremely effectively.
Interdisciplinary instruction is very important for us because that's how we feel the kids best learn, and the idea of incorporating art through their writing and through their reading and through their math and their science and the science fair projects and other activities really makes it a big difference for our kids. The motivation level changes, the end product changes, and it makes it exciting and fun for everyone who participates in the process.
Vocabulary is an excellent place, I think, where the arts and literacy meet, because students begin to learn to use words, to use those words to describe what they're doing.
Abstract is just like something that's not in real life. It's just in your imagination. And realistic is like trees or flowers.
Science and math and other skills we use on an everyday basis in the business environment really require critical thinking and a lot of times abstract thinking. Okay? Visual arts clearly requires abstract thinking. And so the constant exposure, the repetitive exposure with guidance, okay, from an educational standpoint, clearly can help a child develop those critical skills that they need to be successful going forward for the rest of their lives.
Like sometimes you have to use math when you're drawing something. Like if you only have this small piece of paper and you drew a big tree and you wanted to add like some hills, you couldn't fit it, so you have to figure out how tall you want your tree to be.
There's a lot of graphing going on in a lot of our classrooms through the standards that we teach. What I think is remarkable are the connections that kids are making between their math lessons and their art. And the whole purpose of teaching math is not to teach it in isolation, but in view of what the world is like.
You can use art in anything: math, science, social studies, reading. There's always an art component to it, whether it's making graphs or drawing landscapes. They don't really realize they're still learning. They're still working. They think this is fun, so I make it fun. And the more fun they have, the more they learn, the harder they work, because they're determined to get it right. And when they see the outcome, they're so proud.
Yes, I love working with art. There's something I already know that could teach me something new.
And I really didn't understand or see the connection that it really had to the academic component until I kind of slowed down. That's when I really saw the commitment, the involvement, and the academic component, because the children had to know what they were doing, how they were going to do it. They had to use all of the content. They had to use reading, they had to use their math skills, their social studies skills, and so I started seeing the integration.
My focus is on African American artists, 20th century African American artists. And so I try to make a connection to some of the different things that were going on historically at the time. We're actually going to look at two different artists, but one that we're going to really focus on today. His name's Archibald Motley Jr., and he participated in something called the Great Migration. But remember some of the basic things that we talked about when you guys look at a picture. One of those is composition, right? So remember that rule we were talking about is you have things go back into space from the foreground to the middle ground to the background. They get smaller, that's perspective.
I think the same analytical skills required in a student to look at a piece of art and come to an understanding about it are the same higher order thinking skills that's required to look at a story and understand it.
If you think about it, a lot of things that we do in corporate America, whatever the profession, whatever the role, it requires a lot of creativity. And what we do at ART and what visual arts can do is clearly enhance a child's capacity for learning through visual arts.
All art has just basic geometric shapes, and I had never thought about that. And the fact that I can use that teaching tip as I teach geometry, it's a wonderful tool of actually trying to differentiate my instruction for all my kids, because I have some kids who really learn more through art than maybe through just reading a textbook, and now tapping into that learning style, for me personally, I think is a wonderful strategy.
What they've taught them is to be more comfortable with art itself and to embrace it more and to incorporate it in their lessons. And I think they've done a wonderful job of showing them how. The ART artists really come and work with them on a one-on-one and show them how to do it. They come in and actually work with the teachers and tell them, now you do this. Let me see the way that you would do it, and provide them with feedback.
So working with ART was a wonderful opportunity, because not only did they do great work with our students, they really helped our teachers enhance their instruction to make art part of what they do every day.
So today we're actually going to do the printmaking. Now before I explain the process again, can anyone tell me if they remember what we do or how the printmaking works from watching Mr. G up here? How does it work? How does printmaking work? Well, number one, I know that art is valuable in the classroom for the simple fact that it is hands-on. And when students are asked at the end of the year, tell me one thing you remember about this year that you thoroughly enjoyed, you can be rest assured that they will cite an example where they were doing art, simply because it was hands-on, which essentially tells me that it was meaningful.
So having the artists working with the children and working with the teacher has really taken our instruction to the next level. It's made them examine their content and how it can be presented in a different way, and it helped them appreciate their students, because now they're working and they're seeing talents that they might not have seen in the traditional lesson. And now they say, wow, that child that I might not have been able to reach before is now active and engaged and has produced something, where in the past they might have been a passive learner sitting in the back of the classroom.
We actually measured academic gains with using standardized formative and summative evaluations, taking a look at our curriculum, seeing where we wanted to go and how we could incorporate the art, and actually it did increase our scores. The students' attendance increased also, because they found that the day that the art was going to be here, the artist was going to be here working, the children came to school every day because they were so excited about the projects. And now it's just a natural part of our curriculum.
In my lifetime, in my career, I've been involved in several charitable organizations, and I'll have to say that my involvement in ART is second to none. It's been first class. I've met a lot of really good people, but more importantly, the cause the things that we do at ART, the impact we have on kids, is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. And so I don't think it's second to none, and it really does have a positive impact on our kids.
It is altogether remarkable that an independent arts organization like Art Resources and Teaching has been able to sustain its high level of quality programming for more than a century, given 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and I think that's a testament to ART's tradition of leadership and commitment that they should rightly be extremely proud of.
Art make me happy. It's lovely.